Have you ever just looked at a calendar and wondered what makes one day any different from another? Well, turns out some dates are just special. And today we're talking about one of those dates, April 18th. Let's dive in and find out why it's so incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of wild to think about, right? On this exact day, scattered across centuries and all over the world, a few absolute geniuses made discoveries that would, no joke, fundamentally change the reality we live in today. So this timeline right here, that's going to be our map. We're going to meet these amazing people one by one. And our first stop, it starts with a question about something you probably do 100 times a day without even thinking about it.
Seriously, just think about it for a second. When you write a line of code, how does the machine know that add is an action it needs to do? Where did that whole idea even come from?
Well, to get the answer, we've got to go way, way back. All the way back to April 18th, 1803, to meet a French mathematician you've probably never heard of, Louis Arbogast.
Okay, so here's Arbogast's big idea, and it is an absolute game changer. He was the first person to formally separate the action in math, like addition or multiplication, from the numbers themselves. He treated the command as its own thing. This seems so simple to us now, but back then it was revolutionary. It is the fundamental concept behind functions in every single programming language we use today. Every app, every game, every website, it all stands on the shoulders of this one idea.
So get this. Before we could build our entire digital world, someone had to invent the very idea of a command. And that someone was Louis Arbogast.
Pretty amazing, right?
All right, let's hop back on our timeline. We're going to fast forward exactly 80 years to the day, April 18th, 1883. We're leaving the digital world behind and blasting off into deep space to solve a cosmic mystery, all thanks to a man named Édouard Roche. It's a question we've all had, right? You see those pictures of Saturn and you're just blown away by those rings. They're gorgeous. But why are they there? Why does Saturn get them and we don't? So, Roche did the math and figured out something incredible. Every huge planet has this invisible danger zone around it, which we now call the Roche limit. If a moon happens to drift too close and crosses that line, the planet's massive gravity is so powerful that it literally rips the moon to shreds, and all that debris, all those shattered pieces of rock and ice, spread out to form those spectacular rings. It's a pretty profound thought, isn't it? That some of the most beautiful things we see in our universe are actually born from complete and utter destruction. We're still on April 18th. Let's jump forward just a few years to 1892. Same date, different country, where our third genius, Dmitry Menshov, was wrestling with a completely different kind of puzzle. We totally take this for granted. You hit play on a song and it just plays, crystal clear. But how is it possible to squeeze that much data through a slow connection without losing all the quality? The answer is hidden in the work of Dmitry Menshov. He was a master of something called trigonometric series, which is just a fancy way of saying he understood the mathematical language of waves, including sound waves. He found these deep, surprising rules about how these series behave. And it's because we understand those rules that engineers today can compress a massive music file into a tiny little package that can stream perfectly, even on a weak signal. So here's a cool way to think about it. Every song you've ever listened to is basically a secret code, and math is the key that cracks it wide open. Man, this one date is just packed with stories. Let's keep going. Still on April 18th, we're now jumping to the year 1901, where we meet a man who wasn't just a mathematician, he was the people's mathematician, Bento Caraça. Okay, this is a big one, because I think a lot of us feel this way. Does math ever feel like this impossible subject that's only for a few super smart people? Well, what if that whole idea is just completely wrong? Bento Caraça's entire mission in life was to fight that feeling. He passionately believed math wasn't some abstract puzzle locked in an ivory tower. No, it was a tool that was deeply connected to real life, to society. He wrote his famous book with one simple goal: to prove that anyone, absolutely anyone, could understand and even enjoy math. He wanted to give that powerful tool to everybody. And his message is just as powerful today as it was back then. Math isn't just in a textbook. It's everywhere, in the world all around you, just waiting for you to discover it. And now we've reached our final stop. The date is still April 18th, but the year is 1955. And on this day, our theme isn't about a new beginning, but an end. It's the day the world had to say goodbye to a legend, Albert Einstein. It's probably the most famous equation in all of history. We see it on t-shirts, we hear it in movies, but what does it actually represent? What did it really do? On April 18th, 1955, the world lost the person who completely rewrote our map of reality. His theories of relativity are still our best explanation for how the entire universe works. And with E equals mc squared, he showed us the deepest connection in the cosmos, that energy and mass are just two different forms of the same thing. That single idea unlocked the secrets of the atom and changed the course of human history forever. And his ultimate legacy is a lesson for all of us. Einstein taught us that the biggest, most mind-bending secrets of the universe can be unlocked just by asking one powerful question. So there you have it, 5 incredible minds, Arbogast, Roche, Menshov, Caraça, and Einstein, all connected by this one single date. They came from different centuries, from different countries, but they were all driven by the exact same powerful instinct. Every single one of them looked at the chaos of the world around them and asked the same basic question: what's the hidden pattern here? And because they dared to ask, our world now has computer programming, we understand the cosmos, and we can stream music from anywhere on the planet. Their work proves that world-changing discoveries are out there, just waiting for someone brave enough to ask the right question.